But yeah, it's hard. It's hard processing all of that at once, you know. The very people you love have to end up being the very people you have to protect yourself from. It creates something within you that I do take responsibility for my lifestyle, for my choices, but I feel like that has highly contributed to my anxiety, depression, and heart issues that I've been having. Definitely. But I'll get into that in another video about the SVT attacks, tachycardia, anxiety, things like that. But yeah, the spiritual gangstalking, man, think about it. You know, what is that? It's like, I mean, I know historically, again, and psychologically why I attracted alcoholics and narcissists for years. You know, hell, I was very narcissistic in my younger days before I got heavily more into therapy and working on my spiritual side. But I'm fully aware of why I attracted these things and the lessons, you know, and that I'm responsible for that healing. But until my healing is complete or more progressed, yeah, I keep pulling that same person, that same energy to myself. And my own damn vessel became susceptible to weakening, to letting those types of things in. Sloan Bella, the psychic I'm really fond of, she talks a lot about that. About how when we are, you know, if we are drunk or high on substances, out of our mind, we are out of our body a lot. A person that's just really checked out from reality or suffering from depression for long periods, the vessel is weakened and therefore open and more susceptible for something of other dimensions or something of negative dark forces to step in. And I feel that. I've seen that shit. And I know a lot of people go, whatever, that's flaky, but it resonates with me. And no, I don't go so far that I don't hold people accountable. Absolutely, they're accountable. I'm never one of those people, oh, that's an excuse. They were high. They were drunk when they did it. The devil made them do it. No, I'm not one of those damn people that's going to go off the deep end with some religious, the devil made them do it, they were evil, or accept someone's excuse of, oh, I was drunk, I'm sorry, or I don't know what took me over, something took me over. Listen, I don't accept excuses like that because we are responsible for our vessel. For what we put in it, what we listen to, what we watch, who we let talk to us, who we let in our energy field. I know that. We are responsible ultimately when we choose to take the drinks, when we choose to get high, whatever it is we do. You put the shit in your body that opened your vessel up in the first place to negative forces. You did that. Of a sober and sound mind, you went to pick up the beer can, the vodka bottle, shoot the needle up, smoke, whatever the hell you're doing, or not be right within your emotional and spiritual life, knowing you grew up with childhood issues but yet not seeking a therapist, or not getting on YouTube, doing some study of your own. That's your responsibility. Even if you're not a drug addict or alcoholic, if you know you have fucking emotional problems and mental problems and you're eaten up with abandonment issues and all kinds of toxic feelings and you don't bond well with people in relationships and you got all that going on, you did it then. You are responsible for moving on into another person's life and putting all of that all over them, without getting your spiritual and emotional house in order first. That's your job. So I don't ever take excuses like that. Well, I had a bad childhood. That's why I cheat. Or that's why I went to jail, or that's why I robbed the bank, or that's why I hit people, or that's why I act carelessly and recklessly. I don't respect boundaries. I'm just not very good at, I had a terrible childhood, or I had this happen, or that happen, or well, I was drunk or high. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It was your responsibility to seek the help you needed to get your mind and spiritual and emotional house in order so that you would not do that to other people, so that you would not be susceptible to negative energies. If you're just sitting around watching mindless television all the time, staying entertained, staying in la la land, everything has to be either funny or entertaining, never get serious, never take in real things, or if you're just kicked back watching porno all the time, drinking, or getting high all the time, if you know you have a shit ton of emotional problems and you're just taking in bullshit all the time, thinking you're privileged and entitled to just kick back and have a good time, you don't have to do anything about your issues, just go get you a date, get you a drink, put that shit all over everybody else. No, I don't deal with excuses like that. It was their responsibility from Jump Street. I don't care about the sob story, just like it was my responsibility for letting the people I let into my life. Every one of those choices I made of a sound mind. Nobody put a gun to my head. I walked through what I walked through. So I don't come on here with a victim mentality or, oh, boo-hoo, pitiful me. What I try to do is share my experiences, examine the different components of the experiences so that other people can be aware of certain things. And I am trying to be proactive and take positive, productive action and use to my advantage in a positive way what happened to me. I've always been one of those people. So that's that. We are responsible. So I just want to let that be known. But you'll notice that people who have opened their vessel up to negative forces, be it extreme addiction, narcissism, lost in their own toxic issues, whatever their case is, and they're suffering a lot, they're causing a lot of suffering. You ever notice these types of people that do not want to work on their issues? They will not lift a finger to help themselves. They want to put it all on you. Make you feel responsible for them. It starts to eat away at your soul. But you ever notice they hate it? They hate to see it. They hate when you start to see them and figure it out. They hate it when you start to heal and you see them and you're not playing along with their agenda anymore. You've got less and less time for them, less and less time for their sob stories or their misery or their all the things you used to help them with and be there for them and all that energy. They hate it. Have you ever noticed? And I've always fought hard to learn, grow, and, emotionally, spiritually, no matter what I was attracting. Even when I was walking through it with those types of people and going through my own shit, I've always fought hard for that learning, for that growth, for that work. And a lot of these people will not lift a finger for that. They are not interested in that. All they're interested in is the good time, the small talk. They want to just talk just to be talking. They are not going to apply that to their life and grow from it. That is draining, sucking our energy. And a lot of times in my life, I'd be the only person in the crowd of my family, friends, partners that was actually doing the work. That was actually either motivating and going to a therapist or sitting at home alone, sacrificing party time and reading and studying and doing workbooks. A lot of times I'd be the only person in my crowd that was doing that. And so naturally, I'd want to pass along that information to them. I'd want to pass along what I had learned, or, I've always been like that, wanting to heal other people as I heal myself. But most of them just wanted to drink or drug their issues away and do the friend therapy and not take it any deeper and do the real work. Most of them were using friends for social therapy. We all did that when we were younger, sure. They wanted to, get emotional support from friends, and which is all fine to a degree, but then they wouldn't apply any of it and just keep using someone for energy as a shoulder. Alcoholics are the worst at this. It's not fair, though. After a while, we grow up. We learn that all of that is not our responsibility. It is our responsibility. As each individual, it's our responsibility to take it on for ourselves, not to constantly dump it on other people. But be careful with alcoholics and addicts, because many times they have no intention. When they come into your life, they have no intention of healing. None. They have no intention. They're not there for that. So just beware while they're on the phone with you, sucking up hours of your time and energy with what happened to them and all their stories and their life, and oh, I'm going to do this and this sounds great. Be careful how much time, energy, advice, resource you give them, because they don't have any intention. Most of them do not. They just want your time and energy. They're not taking it upon themselves to get up, get dressed, go down to a meeting, go to therapy. Nope. No. They want your entertainment. You're entertaining to them. That's all that is. A bunch of small talk. They're not going to apply what you've just told them. When you hang up that phone, they're going to get on the phone with the next person and get more energy and do it again. It's using, it's draining. So just be careful with that. They don't have any intention. They want your energy. Anybody who will listen a lot of the time. And we do feel sorry for them, don't we? We feel sad for them, don't we? But not so much when we're the ones having to get up and do our fucking work. And they're not doing it. They want to put it on us. All of that shit is a part of gang stalking to me. All of those things that we go through with these certain types of people, that is a form of gang stalking to me. That's what it feels like. Yes. A lot of times alcoholics and addicts want to force you to listen. See? Now here's where it's like, okay, think about it, is that just a drug addiction? Is that just an emotional problem, a mental illness in them? Because yes, they do call addiction an illness. But there's got to be something more to it, man. That shit gets downright evil sometimes. Like this unstoppable force. They just keep coming at you. They can't hear you. They can't hear your plea for mercy. They can't feel your sorrows. They just keep coming. Narcissism, addiction. To top it off, the cherry on top, there is something more to that. It is like they are not human. There is some other force working within that. You could beg them for mercy. They're not hearing it. They just keep doing it to themselves, to you. So, and we can all make excuses. Sure, I understand a lot of people, I can't afford therapy, or they can all say that. I couldn't, we weren't that lucky to have a therapist or to have a connection like that. Well, hell, I couldn't afford it either. I was court ordered when I was a little girl, and I kept knowing her as I grew up. I did have that connection. I was blessed in that way. But listen, there's plentiful ways to access mental and emotional health knowledge these days, especially if you want to heal and grow and learn it, you will find it. So those excuses, they're not acceptable anymore. They're just really not. Not with all the information and access we have to things these days. It's not fair that one person is taking responsibility. One person in a group of addicts or narcissists or broken people. It's not fair that one person that might have gone through worse abuse than all of them is actually getting their ass up and going to a therapist, getting up and going meeting new people, reaching out, getting on the internet studying, getting out books studying about their problems, doing whatever it takes. One person, and the rest of them just sit around, drink, get high, cartoon out, get entertained, and come to that one person for their emotional support again and again and again. That becomes very unfair and very draining. No, there has to be a cutoff point with that kind of thing. All of that, if you have that coming at you on a regular basis, that feels like a form of spiritual gang stalking to me. There are free groups out there. There are free meetings out there. There are all kinds of ways to get help. positivity, positive input, networking. It's out there. They just don't want to get up and go get it. They don't want to stop what they're doing a lot of times. But the more we heal, you guys, the less we attract that. And just doing these videos actually is a part of my healing. It helps me to feel better each time. But I do feel it teaches us. It all teaches us. All these things that come into our life. It's a teacher if we let it be. And a lot of times for years I was fooled. I thought I was beyond it all. I thought I was above and beyond it. I got it under control. I've had enough therapy. I'm healed enough. My wiring, my codependency, whatever my issues were, and it would send an even stronger, trickier, toxic situation for me. So looking back, I'm really putting this gang stalking thing into perspective. And when that guy, Track Beats, mentioned it in his video about some people have been watched since they were a child by these negative forces, being followed since they were children. That shit really hit me. It made me start looking back over my patterns, my history, the people that came into my life, the lessons they brought for me, the patterns they brought to me, how it shaped my life. Did it set me back? Did it propel me forward? There's just got to be more to all this. That's just the way I feel. There's just more to it. But yeah, when you're focused on some higher shit, there is an energy. Just be prepared for it. There's an energy. You won't even feel like you when some of that shit gets in your life. You will not even feel like you. Almost like they try to possess you or something. It's sticky. You can feel it. It's weird. But I'm also highly empathic like that. Growing up in an abusive situation, you have to develop almost psychic ability to predict people's moods and, being out in the streets and stuff. But you can feel it on some of these people. It's a sticky energy. It really is. It's weird. Tricky, manipulative, and it has many, many faces. Pretend kindness, cold empathy. Cold versus warm empathy. That's another thing. People can trick you with that shooting cold empathy at you, but it's not real empathy that they're feeling. So fake. And it may be a very broken person, so sad. Please don't leave me. I love you. I'm so lonely. I'm so scared. Pulling on you and pulling on you. I've gone through that. And behind all that, once they convince you to stay, boom. It's getting you. They terrorize you again and again. And maybe their terror isn't something everyone can see. Even you may have a hard time recognizing the terror that they're inflicting on you. The brainwashing. The takeover. Very spiritual. It can be so subtle, so slick. They think that a lot of us can't see it. Twists and actions you catch that are so wrong, so toxic. So yeah, it's all related on a much higher level than just trauma bonding or toxic relationships or addictions. It's on a much higher level. And then when you won't buy in, watch the beast come out. When you won't buy in and you start healing, like I said, watch the beast come out of them. Watch it remove its disguise. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Well, I guess that's about it, guys. That's all I really wanted to reiterate. Again, this helps me to get things off my chest, and I hope you guys can get something out of this. And I have notebooks upon notebooks. I have lots more content coming soon on many different topics. I really appreciate you guys for joining me. Like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. And I will talk to you guys again soon.